Welcome to another one of our family empowerment hour Zooms for the Long-Term Care Community Coalition. I'm Janine Ferrari. I work with the Family Council Empowerment Team, along with my wonderful colleague, Gloria Murray. We're based in New York, but we work throughout the country with families and ombudsmen to build, maintain, support family councils, because family councils are a really wonderful way to get things done in a long-term care residence, assisted living, nursing home, or rehab. The regulations aren't all the same, but a family council does have the power to make change, systematic change, especially when you work with your ombudsperson. We have this month, we have a very cool guest for you. Her name is Jessica Belsey. She's from the Illinois Ombudsman Program, and she is an ombudsman specialist. And she has a lot of acumen and experience, and she wants to share it with us. So welcome, Jessica.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Welcome to you. We've received some questions through some of you signing up, and we will address them while we're on the Zoom. Also, though, if you think of a question while you're joining us, please raise your hand and we will do our best to get to you and to answer your question in real time. If we don't have an answer to your question, please don't worry. We will find out what that answer is and get back to you, because we have your emails and your phone numbers if you did give them to us when you signed up. So again, welcome. Bring your questions. No question is dumb or stupid. We're always looking to learn more and to help as much as we can. For those of you who are new to us here at the Long-Term Care Community Coalition's Family Empowerment Hour, the Long-Term Care Community Coalition has been around for over 20 years. We are a wonderful resource, and feel free to check out our website, which is www.nursinghome411.org. Tons of information. We're always updating it. And if you can, subscribe. It's free, and you will get the emails for tips. You'll get the emails for our webinars and for this Family Empowerment Hour, which is basically monthly. It is the last Thursday of every month. And Gloria and I work to bring you programs and guests that can be helpful in your advocacy in the long-term care residences.
Janine, can I just give you a shout out? As an ombudsman in Illinois, even though our state regulations and laws are a little bit different than what you might have in New York, the website has been an invaluable resource to me professionally, and I share it with other ombudsmen as I'm training. So I just want to give you kudos and say that there's a lot of great information. Just echo what you shared. There's a wealth of information there. So I encourage you guys to.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. We have an incredible team. The people behind the curtain, if you will. Eric and Haley are invaluable, as is our executive director, Richard Mollett. So thanks for saying that, Jessica. We appreciate you.
Haley, can you share our website screen with our participants today, just so they have an idea of what it looks like? And there it is. And this is where all your valuable information is. And there's our family empowerment. And here is all of the tools that Janine and I talk about when we talk with family members at family council levels that want to either start a family council or they have a family council, but they're challenged by different things. And actually today's topic, we're going to be talking about tips for privacy and independence. And there's actually a resource there for the families that you can see. There's different, you can have a tip sheet right at your hands. And then there's the do's and don'ts to make sure your family council maintains independence. Thanks, Haley. I appreciate that. Okay, Janine.
Okay, so Jessica, tell us, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about what your program, how you help ombudsmen in Illinois, and what are some of the things, what are some of the questions and some of the challenges that your program in Illinois helps families and residents out with? especially family councils?
Yeah, great question. I would say specifically to family councils, one of the questions I get as I'm training new ombudsmen is, how do you start a family council? How do you find families who want to, where do you grow it from? Where's the seed? And I encourage people to talk to other families, right? If you're an ombudsman, what families do you know in the home? And ask them if they're interested, if you can make that connection for them. If you're a family member, I encourage you to visit at different times so that you can see people who are maybe there during the morning or those people there after hours. I would say one of the biggest hurdles that I feel like, in addition to how do I get it started, would just be the keeping it going piece of it. We've had some family councils, especially during the pandemic, form around not being able to get in to see their loved one, or there's a specific issue going on. And so the families kind of rally around that issue. And then sometimes there's a struggle kind of to maintain that momentum, I guess, would be the other area that I think can sometimes be a struggle for people. Last thing I'll say on this is that idea of what the topic's about, right? A family council is an independent group, independent of the home that their loved ones are in. And sometimes we have administration who don't like that separation. And so it's working, usually the ombudsman working with the families, educating. We do a lot of education of the administrator. Your fact sheet is great. It has the regulation right on there. So the federal regulation, it quotes the state operations manual that gives the guidance there. And so that's a really useful tool we would be using as we're educating administrators to say, hey, here's the federal regs. I know you don't like it, but we've got to follow it.
Thank you for that. We realize that that fact sheet is, it's easy for us to follow, right? Sometimes we've noticed, I know personally in my own experience, but also we hear from families, administrators of long-term care residents may not know the regulations. And it's okay. They're not supposed to know. How can they possibly know everything? There's a ton of regulations. But if you can print that out and carry it with you when you go to visit your loved one or your friend at a long-term care residence, then you've got the regulation in your hand. You've got the power of the law and the regulations behind you. And you can feel free to share that with whoever you're talking to in the administration, and teach them something. As long as you do it in a friendly way, non-confrontational, I think everyone on earth, for the most part, likes to learn. So it's okay to teach people what they don't know or remind them of what something, regulation is. It's okay. You're not confronting them. It's a sharing moment, and they may be indebted to you for that. So it's a good thing.
And sometimes it's an unknown regulation or, unfamiliar, unknown, because families don't know about it. And sometimes, like Janine said, facilities don't know about it. So we're bringing it to the known status that family councils are important. Strength is in numbers. It's family councils can bring it, a group of complaints rather than having 40 family members come to an administrator with the same complaint. The family members could maybe address that concern with the facility in order to find a resolution. So it is a regulation, and families do have the privacy and they are allowed independence. So maybe we want to kind of move on to the independence and privacy part of it, Janine. And I know some questions were already submitted, so maybe we can kind of go down those questions. And anyone who has a question, please speak up or raise your hand and we'll give you the mic for a short period of time and share your question, and we'll see how we can answer it.
Good idea. So in terms of independence, Jessica, how would you guide families who are wanting to either they already have a family counselor, or they want to set one up, but they want to be independent of the administration in a nursing home?
One of the things that I've talked to and worked with, I actually, early on in my career with the Ombudsman program, we actually had a family council that met at a local fast food chain because they didn't feel like they could be free to speak if they met within the building. And so they met at another location, which allowed for that privacy, but also they were independent because the staff wasn't trying to come in and take over the meeting. So it kind of met both of those needs. But I think one of the things that I like to do as an ombudsman, rather than tell someone you can't do it this way, or this isn't how you're supposed to do it, when I'm talking to facility staff, is in terms of the independence, I would say if you have maybe an administrator who wants to run the meeting, I would maybe show them the regulation and say, can you help me understand how what you're proposing falls in line with what the regulations say? Because it says we have a right to meet privately, right? We have these rights are guaranteed under the regulation. So help me understand how those two things work together. And they're going to be at a loss to explain how it says at the invitation of the family works with them demanding they be there, right? It doesn't work that way. So you mentioned earlier trying to be friendly, or I don't remember the term you used, but I think it's really important that we come in those discussions where we expect there to maybe be some disagreement, to try and disarm the situation and just be open, hear them out, see what they have to say, but yet don't back down to what the law says.
I agree. I think you're right. Don't acquiesce to what they're saying. They may just be speaking without even thinking. And that's something that Gloria has taught me, and that we try to teach people when we talk to different people, different families throughout the country with their family council projects. If you ask, if you pose everything from a question, teach me, I'm confused, this isn't clear, would you mind just letting me know what you think? It takes the sting out of things, right? Because then the administrator or the staff member that you're talking to has to really, when they're repeating what they're saying, they actually have to think about what they're saying instead of it just spilling out of their mouth. And I think that's a wonderful tool to use to teach them too. You're learning and they're learning, and maybe they won't be so quick the next time to just answer something so automatically. Just put a little bit of thought behind it.
The other thing that came to mind was that you were educating me that LTCCC has a free Zoom room available, right? And so that would be another way, if the facility is refusing to follow the regulations to give you a private space, maybe the families just say, okay, we'll just take it online.
Yes.
And that's a way to maintain that independence using that neutral Zoom link that's available for everyone, across the country.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. We do have a free Zoom room. It is available for family councils to meet. You can meet as frequently as you like. There's no cost. It is a safe, neutral space, as Jessica had mentioned. And we've got a number of family councils taking us up on that offer. So please feel free if your family council needs that space. There's no limit to how often you can meet. There's no time limit. If you want to meet at night, if you want to meet during the weekend or during the week, we're happy to help you with that. Just check out the link that I believe one of my wonderful colleagues put into the chat, and sign up for it. I can tell you personally, my own family council at my dad's nursing home, we've been using it for close to 4 years. And it's a wonderful, wonderful space. There are no limits, and we never feel that we can't speak freely. And that's part of, one of the things that can be very uniting when you have a group of families, is that ability to speak freely without any thought of retaliation.
And Janine, some of the do's that I think it's important for family councils to embrace is to set clear privacy and communication rules with your family council. So as a council, remember, you are a group. You want to make sure everyone is agreeing and understanding your communication and your privacy. And as Jessica said before, a secure Zoom room, so it's yours privately. You also you can have a liaison to keep in touch with the facility staff. The facility could assign you a liaison, and so that would be your contact. and use your ombudsman. Absolutely. I can't stress enough to reach out to your ombudsman, and they can help educate council members about, resident rights, mediate between the council and the facility sometimes, and ensure that your council's privacy and independence are respected. But as always, when there's do's, there's don'ts, right? So your don'ts, you want to make sure, share meeting links, don't share your meeting link or confidential matters publicly or in open email chains. You don't have to give the facility a list of who your family members are, as long as you're talking as a group. You are a group of families who are concerned about care and resident rights in a facility. You don't want to share your meeting minutes, and you don't want to discuss private matters in public. You don't want to record meetings without the consent of the family council, and or share the recordings with the staff. Privacy and independence is truly our stress today. We definitely want to stress to you that family councils, as you keep moving forward, you have the right to privacy and independence from the facility.
Thank you, Gloria. What she said. Absolutely. Gloria, you are just a font of information. Thank you for sharing that. It's absolutely true. And everyone is owed privacy, families and residents. So thank you for saying that. Are there any questions for some of our participants? Anyone want to ask a question of Jessica while we're here? Because we've got questions that we can ask her that we received from participants who signed up. Okay.
Can I just make one comment, Gloria? As you were reading the do's and don'ts, Gloria, something that came to mind was the idea of kind of mixing two things. You talked about having a liaison, right? A staff liaison that you could work with. I think it's also, and you also talked about not sharing what happens in the group, right? You all need to respect everyone's privacy within that group. And I think one of the things I encourage groups to do is make sure they figure out how they are going to communicate. Is there a point person? Are they going to go as a team? Or do they have a steering committee that's going to go try and talk to the administration? So I think that piece is really important for the privacy, that everybody understands what's happening next with the information that we shared. Because people aren't going to stay with the group and continue to participate with the group if they don't feel it's safe. And so it's important that they understand what happens next, so they feel that their privacy is being respected.
Thanks, Jessica. And I also think that it's important to always have your structure, however the structure wants to be for your family council, which is what your family council should talk about initially when you're starting out. But also have an agenda, respect people's times. Don't let it become a time for just complaints and complaining or trying to restaff the facility, but come from a point where it's whatever you want to discuss is affecting quality of care for the residents or their quality of life. So it's really great to respect everybody in the council, let people talk, but know that you're there for a purpose, and have that method of communication among each other. Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica. We received a really good question on our sign up when one of our attendees, she asked, are virtual family councils more sustainable compared to in-person council meetings? Which I think is a wonderful question. Jessica, what have you got to share with us about that? Because I can also share my own family council story.
Okay, I'm just going to say it depends what the group wants, right?
Yeah.
If the group wants to meet virtually, if schedules allow that better, maybe you have people with young kids at home, so getting away. I mean, there's a variety of different reasons schedules don't work out to actually come together in person, or people live out of state possibly, right? But they still want to be involved. It can be really beneficial from that standpoint, but there's also something you lose a little bit with the online connection sometimes. And so I would say it very much depends on what does the group want. And maybe this month we meet in person and next month we meet on Zoom and we go back and forth. So, I mean, kind of the beauty of the family council is it's about the families that are on the family council. And so you can make it what works best for your group. And I'd encourage you to be open-handed and flexible as you start it, right? This is what we're
Yes.
going to try. If it's not working, let's figure something else out, because I think people get rigid sometimes and it's like, this is what we're going to do. And they run into hurdles and they just give up on the idea altogether. So I think as you begin and as you're working with each other, to come in with just the mindset, this is what we're going to try. And then we'll pivot if we need to.
Right.
And
Right.
you can even maybe do a hybrid, I mean, you can have in person, but for those that cannot be in person, maybe set up a way to have them Zoom, right? I mean, Zoom has taken us in many directions. So you could still be able to meet that, the needs of all the family members if you be creative and be respectful of each other and open. Absolutely.
Yes. And I agree. I know from the family council that I'm on, some of our family council members live in other states. We have a number of people living out of the country in the United States, UK or in Israel. And they join us anyway when they can. And that's the magic of Zoom. But I can also tell you that whenever I see our family council members on the premises when I'm visiting my dad, it is just such a happy feeling because you're seeing them in person. You get to hug them, get to kiss them, get to just catch up with them, and it's not through a screen. It's very fulfilling. Barbara Jean has her hand raised.
I do have a question, and that is,
Yes.
excuse me, does the family council group, is it a closed group or does it have communication with the other family members? Is it I don't know how you can figure this out from the conversation, and I'm new about this, but if you have this group that is formed and doing all the things you talked about, does that exclude the other family members, or are they also included, those that haven't joined the family council?
Your family council, Barbara Jean, is all the families of the residents in the nursing home. It's really all, you're going to invite all the families. And, along with your privacy and your independence, the facility does, in regulation, is supposed to help you build. So they're supposed to put a notice or let the families know that there is a family council that is starting or that exists, and this is the time they meet. So it's all the families, and it really should be all of the family members' responsibility to build the family council. So if I'm part of a family council and Janine and Jessica are, we're all talking to other family members about the family council to come and join us. And this is what we're all about. We're here for the residents. We're all here for the same reason. And we want to make them feel comfortable to come in. So it's not like a closed group. It's open to all family members.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We did have a case a couple years ago that an ombudsman was working where it was a residential care community, so kind of like assisted living in Illinois, and they don't have to follow these regulations. And so they were starting a family council, and the ombudsman went to the administrator and said, here's the letter we'd like you to send out. And the administrator is like, yeah, I don't have to. Not going to do it. And so that's the thing to be mindful of also, that I don't think we've mentioned, that as we say, the regulations say they're specific to nursing homes. So you need to look within your specific state to see if you have laws or regulations speaking to family councils and other types of facilities, such as assisted living, or in Illinois, we have supportive living and some other things. So I just wanted to make note of that as we think about, I was going to the same place Gloria did, and then that case popped into my mind, and it was really frustrating for the ombudsman. And what she ended up doing was educating the administrator about the benefits of having a family council in their building, right? It really was a great educational opportunity, but it was an uphill battle.
And it is different with assisted living, because remember, most residents in assisted living, they're community living. So they can kind of speak up. They have their resident council. So you don't want a family council to undermine the residents of an assisted living, right? Because they still have their rights and everything are there. So you don't want family council to come in and undermine the residents in the assisted living, which is why it's really a nursing home regulation.
Wow,
Great.
okay. Barjean, did we answer your
Yes.
question?
Yes, very, very helpful. Thank you.
Janine, there's one question from, I believe, a volunteer ombudsman about how to get started.
A family council? Okay.
Yes, like the ombudsman, how to get a family council started when you're in an assigned facility as an ombudsman. And really talk to families, you know, and introduce them to the idea of a family council, especially if a lot of families have concerns that they're bringing to you. And on the LTCC website under family empowerment, we have a great brochure that you certainly could download and hand to them. It kind of lays out the family council, but you want to educate them on what a family council is and how it would work, and see if they would be interested, because they're the ones that need to lead it. It's for the families, by the families, right? So that's what a family council is for. You want to get them interested in leading and establishing a family council. And you can be there as an ombudsman to support them along the way,
If they let
Yes.
you there.
if they let you.
Right.
If
Right.
they let
And
you,
I think
correct.
the toolkit, the family council toolkit that you guys have available, I think we mentioned it earlier. I think the brochure is the introduction, and then the toolkit's the follow when you got them hooked, like when they realize like, oh, I could do this, you know, because there's an agenda on there, right? Like you don't need to reinvent the wheel. The resources are there. It's just a matter of getting them into people's hands so that they can use them.
Yes. And that is the biggest concern when you talk to families, is they don't always have the time. So that's why Family Empowerment wants to make sure we have all the tools that they need that can help them limit their time and use it more wisely going forward.
It's true. Yes. Thank you for both of you for making that point. And, you know, just because a member doesn't join a family council initially when their loved one is admitted to a long-term care residence, doesn't mean that they won't join subsequently. Usually that happens when they become aware that they can't get the answer to a question that they really need the answer to. And so they turn to a family member, and that family member may very well be on the family council, and they get invited on. Come join us. It's never too late, because everyone is eligible to be on a family council, even when your loved one has passed. I can say for our own family council, most of our steering committee is made up of family members whose loved ones have passed, but they remain committed to the mission that we have, because we have bylaws for our own family council, which really helps to unite people. And they want to, you know, see it through. And just an example, if anyone is asking, well, what kind of mission could you possibly have? Remember, we're talking about resident-centered, and that's the key to success. If everyone on a family council has that one mission in mind, I want to make the residents in my loved one's long-term care residence have them live their best lives possible, because this is probably their last stop in life. They should be living their life to the fullest. How can I, as a family member, help them to achieve that? Everyone has that. You have a group of people with that same mission in mind. It's the key to success. You know, there are no ways to fail for that. And once you get or start a conversation with the administrators of that long-term care residence, that you're both mission driven, you both have the same mission in mind, right? Resident-centered care. You're caring for them, I'm caring about them, but we both care for them. We're both part of the care team, if you will. It's a way to ensure success. And yes, you may have to repeat your question over and over again, or not give up on a topic that is dear to your heart, and you really want the residents of that long-term care residents to enjoy, like specifically like hospice. Hospice, we help to get into to be introduced in my dad's nursing home. It took us almost 1.5 years to do that. And it took quite a lot of back and forth, especially with our ombudsman. But we got it done, and it really, really helped. And we didn't give up. It was very unifying and very satisfying, especially for the members of our steering committee whose loved ones had passed, because they really could have, in retrospect, that they could have benefited from being on hospice or in hospice during their last days, and they wound up not, passing without the benefit of the hospice and the skills that those workers tend to bring to that practice. So that's just one example that I can think of to unify you and to keep that mission going. And for bylaws, if anyone here has a family council or is starting one or has just started one, your bylaws don't have to be this, multisyllabic or lawyerly filled wordly type of document. It could be something really pure and simple. We're all united for this. We're open to new members. There's no, just keep it simple, keep it, and you can also add to it as well. We tend to meet in person, or we tend to meet on Zoom. Just things that you can kind of follow and you can add to and you can think about, because sometimes caring for your loved one, even if they're not living with you, is a lot of stress. You do get nervous when the phone rings. You don't know if, and you see it's your loved one's residence calling. You don't know why they're calling. It's nice to be grounded by a mission, and to also have the support of other family members with you in your family council. Doesn't matter religion or political bent. You all have that one mission, and you're all, if you will, going through the same or sharing that same experience of having your loved one in a place that you care about genuinely, and you may not frequently visit, but you are in touch with and you are getting to know, so you can actually help the next person. It's kind of like I hate using the term support group sometimes, because it can sound kind of namby-pamby or weak, but your family council by and large can be very supportive, because you're all going through that shared experience, and you all know the players, and you all know, okay, the called bells aren't being answered. We've been talking about this for months. They tell us they're working on it. It's still not being answered. It's something that you can, it helps unify you, and you keep on fighting or advocating for those same changes over and over again. So you definitely are a group. You're tight knit, or working towards being tight knit, but you all have that in mind, that same driven, mission driven drive and reason for being. Sorry, Eric, did you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I had a question, and I can, this can be for the panelists, and I know there's a lot of ombudsmen and family members in attendance. So I want to open that to them. So there can be a fine line between the nursing home facilitating a nursing home family council meeting and then the nursing home interfering with it. Like, for example, they can provide a Zoom room, but maybe they can try to be involved in it. Are there any examples where that anybody has, where the nursing home where the family council successfully got the support of the nursing home, and it's been a good relationship, and I want to know, like, what steps were taken to get that positive result and to really use to create a positive, although but independent relationship in these family councils.
Anyone here that can profess to that wants to lay claim to that? Because I can think of, to answer your question, I can think of a family council in upstate New York. I was just on their family council Zoom last night, and it's taken them about 1 year, but they finally had the ear and the attention of the administrator. She's fairly new, but she has been an administrator at the same home, like a different, the same chain of homes, but a different location. And she is really keenly listening to and working with the family council because she has seen very quickly, she's a quick study. She saw very quickly that the family council was not adversarial. And they have the same mission that she does, to make the home a better place for the residents. And so this was a joyful Zoom last night, to hear them finally get not only the recognition that they need, but the help that they've been asking for the last year. It's been very fruitful, and now they're getting even more family members to join them because it's on an upswing, if you will. So positivity works. It goes a long way towards getting people to join a family council because they can see, oh, you are getting things done. Oh, I want that done too. That's something I was thinking about. So yes, you may hear people tell you, I don't have time, I work. Everyone can lend something to a family council. You don't have to be someone who's retired or you have a lot of time on your hands. Everyone's voice counts. And that's something I try to tell people whenever I meet them on the premises when I'm visiting my dad. Just join. You never know what you might learn and you never know what you might teach us. And it's nice to have a voice. It's good to have a voice. It feels good.
And Janine, on that family council that you were talking about, I think they too have gained strength within themselves to be more focused on what their mission is and what they're presenting versus attacking everything. So I think they too have come a long way. And I wanted to say that's because Janine has been working very diligently with them. But yes, so there's success in that facility there, Eric.
Yes, thank you. And then that's part of the learning curve. You know, we're all adults. It's hard to dial down that sense of anxiety sometimes people feel, or you're not listening to me, and so I've got to step it up. And you can come off as aggressive, right? And that's a word that's overused, I think, sometimes. Dial it back and remember, you've got the power of your family council behind you. And it's something that you're working on. And if you don't get the answer that you want right now, just keep working on it. Keep working on it, because part of what happens with the family council is sometimes they will they will kind of ignore what your ask is initially. But if you keep at it, they can't keep ignoring it. And if you are just persistent in a nice way, in a pleasant way, you don't have to get ugly. They're going to have to, at some point, deal with that ask that you have and really study it. And that's one of the things about meeting with the administrators a few times a year. You can ask for that and keep your list of asks pretty short. Don't come at them with a long list, because they may think that you're trying to change that residence that they work in, and no one. It's easier to tackle a few 2 or 3 changes than 10, a list of 10, and then you can get those 2 or 3 things done, and then go on to the next 2 or 3. It's changed bit by bit, but it is change.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions or any comments that they'd like to share with us while you're here? Raise your hand. We're here for you. Because if not, we can keep going on and talking about, we've come up with a list of do's and don'ts that we will be on our website. And we can show you where to find that on our website if you like. But as Haley is saying now, please feel free to unmute. No question is too elementary or simple or dumb. We are here for you.
Right,
The
we all
power
learn
of
from each
change
other.
lies in you.
Mm-hmm. Strength in numbers is family council. Strength in numbers for sure. And if you have a family council and you don't, you're trying to make changes or you're finding some challenges, please reach out to Janine or I, and let's see if we can work with you on some changes or challenges that you might be having.
Sometimes when you look around and you're wondering, is there a family council anyone else going through this the way I am, does no one else care? Sometimes that means that you are the person to start a family council. And just know that the return on investment is great. You are not only advocating for the person that you love and that you know in that long-term care residence, there are a number of people living there who may not have a you in their lives. And so you are also advocating for them. And they will be ingratiated to you and they will be grateful to you for making that change and for advocating for them. Everyone wins when you advocate because you're advocating for something positive. If you have any questions or you need help setting up a family council, we can do that. We can help you with that too. I started my own family council at my dad's nursing home, not knowing even what the heck we were doing. This was in May of 2020. And our family council went from 15 people to 40 to 60. And now we have about 150 people signed up to our family council. Not all of them attend meetings, and that's okay. We have a steering committee. People do cycle in and cycle out. But by and large, we do get new members every month or so. The power of recruiting lies with you, because when you go to visit your loved one or your friends in a long-term care residence, you can, just stop someone in the hallway and say, hey, I don't think I've seen you before. How are you? Where does your loved one live? Are you on the family council? Oh my gosh, you should. And share with them one of your positive experiences, or share with them something that the family council has accomplished recently. Keep it positive, and keep it, you want to make it inviting. You want to be inviting, because family councils, as we keep saying, have a lot of power. And the more the more that we build them, the more numerous they become throughout the country, the more we can help legislation, we can help regulations, because our voices will be united to that end. No questions, anyone?
We actually got a question on our Facebook page. Gloria, you see that? Do you want to read it off? I just sent you in the chat.
Okay, hang on a second.
We're on Facebook Live, doing a little multitasking here.
Can residents invite family members to resident council meetings to give family members an introduction to what council meetings are all about? Again, resident councils are for the residents. And we do know that resident councils pretty much do have a staff person that is there to take notes, because notes need to be taken on resident councils. Resident council, also regulation. But if a family member wants to invite their family, the resident wants to invite their family member to a resident council, they should be able to. And same thing with family council. You should definitely connect to resident council to understand what the residents are going through, or what they're challenged with, and what they're trying to get accomplished on their side. Because, advocacy, I always believe, is a three-prong approach: resident, family, and ombudsman. So absolutely, I think it's fine if you want to invite your family to resident council.
If the residents want them there, right? I mean, that's what it boils down to. Anybody
Right.
can be invited to a resident council meeting as long as the residents agree to that invitation. But
Correct.
I could see how the logic of it, right? To have this, if it's established, if it's working well, to have that modeled for another group, I can see that it could be beneficial
Yeah,
if the residents are open to it.
definitely.
And
Thank you for that
you're
question.
kind of a witness to what they're up against sometimes in resident councils.
Hi, Janine. This is Trudy Doty. Can you hear me?
Trudy Doty, I can
Hi.
hear you and I'm happy to hear you. How are you?
Oh, doing okay. Thank you. Love you. Love the council. Love all that you do for us. You give us strength. You help us stand up and walk forward. And that is just what we need. Thank you. What I would like to say is in relation to the question that was just posed about family members attending a resident council. The facility that my loved one is in says absolutely not. And so listening and putting together all that you said today. I'm going to go to the administrator and say, if this council is for the resident, then why is it that a resident's family member cannot attend? Help me understand that.
Yes. Great way to pose that question.
Does that sound like I'm throwing a punch, or does it, am I offering
No.
am I offering an olive branch here?
I think you're offering an olive branch, and if I was in your shoes, I would print out the LTCCC fact sheet on resident and family councils, because it has the regulations. It's written in plain English. Anyone can understand it, and you can show it to them. And that's something that, frankly, I carry that with me every time I visit Dad. It helps me when I'm speaking to a staff member who may not be familiar with the regulations, but I share it with people when I am introducing the idea of them joining a family council, or when I'm talking to a resident about being on the resident council.
And Trudy, the resident council is for residents. It is their council. You know, I do encourage you to speak to the resident council president to make sure that you're not overstepping their
Okay.
their territory, or
Okay.
if it's something that they would like to present to administration with you, I think that would be just as powerful, because it is their council. So they, encourage them to speak up, because they can have a family member if they agree that they want a family member there. It is their council. Just like an ombudsman has to be invited to a resident council, the same would be for a family member. So if they want a family member, they want an ombudsman at their resident council, they have the right to have that. It's their council.
Okay, so then does it have to be presented to the council ahead of time, and maybe a vote has to be taken on it? Do I understand that correctly? So it's not just the desire of one resident to say, gee, I'd like to have my my sister or my brother come, but we have to take this idea to whoever leads the resident council, and then it has to come up for a vote. I understand what you're saying, but there's a little gray there, area there that I'm not really clear on, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes, and I understand where the charge comes from, but I just need a little bit of help here in terms of moving forward.
Jessica, you can certainly chime in, but my thing would be is that the resident council should vote on the generality open invitation for, if a resident wants their family member in on the resident council with them, that the family member should be there. And it should come from the residents' votes in the resident council. Jessica, anything different, Jessica?
I would just say it would depend on how that resident council operated. Because as an ombudsman attending resident council meetings, there have been times when I've said to the resident council president, I've been working with them on something, and they say, could you come to our next meeting and talk for 10 minutes on this resident right? Be like, absolutely. And so I just came and I just presented, the person put me on the agenda. I was there. I was part of the meeting. I've been to others where they've asked me and then said, okay, well, we're going to vote to see if you can come in. Right. So it kind of depends on how that group operates. Some are very casual and some are very formal in their structure. So I would be incredibly respectful of their wishes. And don't take it personally if they say no, because this is the residents' meeting, and they've lost a lot of it feels like they've lost a lot of other avenues to have this sort of group. I don't know the right words to use there. So we don't want to diminish that from them. We don't want to take that away from them. So I think to proceed with caution is really wise, and really have a conversation with that resident council president. Get a feel, is it formal? I think if I was going to be asking if to go with my sister, and my sister was the resident, I want my sister to be the one asking, first of
Right.
all. But I also think to ask, how does it work? Right? Will you have me wait outside and then vote? I think it's reasonable to ask how they'll proceed, but be respectful of the fact that it does belong to them.
Correct.
Absolutely. That is very helpful. Thank you.
And if the staff person who runs the council says no, you can always ask, did you put this for a vote to the residents, right? Always keep that resident right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the piece that feels kind of yucky with this,
Yeah.
is it's the staff
Correct.
members saying no, and it's like, it's not their meeting, it's
No.
the residents' meeting.
It's the residents meeting.
And they may have resident council bylaws that you're not aware of, Trudy. I would ask if there are bylaws, and I would also ask if your ombudsperson, if they're attending the resident council meetings. We wound up for my dad's nursing home telling our ombudsperson about the residents having complaints about their resident council meetings that are monthly. She went and spoke to some of the residents who were complaining. They now have a voice, they now have a rapport with the ombudsperson, and now the ombudsperson is present at those monthly resident council meetings. So even though a family member hasn't been invited on yet, at least they know that that person who is behind them and is there strictly for their benefit, the ombudsperson, is there and she's listening to everything that's happening as well. And they feel emboldened and empowered to raise a hand and, ask, when are we going to get to better food? Or when are we going to get more activities on board? I don't want to watch a movie anymore, because they've got that ombudsperson there to kind of have their back.
That's great
you.
advice. Thank you so much, and great food for thought. And one of the things that you mentioned that my brother cannot verbalize is the fact that so many times a video is just plugged in and that's it. And then it plays over and over and over again. And it becomes very boring. And, they want real life interaction with people who are therapeutic rec people. John Wayne is great, and so are all the other videos, but it's just not the same. And it's the easy way out, personally.
Right. It's kind of like when back in the 80s and 70s, people were left to, they would call them latchkey kids, where you would just, the babysitter was the TV, right? And you had like a TV dinner. It's no real way to live. And they deserve more, frankly. And
Trudy, if your family council is aware of that from having communication with your resident council president and activities are a concern, that is something that your family council could also work on with them, because that's something systemic in the facility. So you can, as a family council, decide on what your strategies might be to help increase, with the administration. Talk to them about the activities and it being more person-centered versus just in generality.
Great. Thank you so much.
I know I made, I mentioned the do's and don'ts. That is something that we recently added to our website. This tip sheet that my wonderful colleagues came up with and shared. We can share that with you. It is on the website. I think the link is in the website as well. If anyone can't find it, let me know and we will send it to you. If anyone here would like to have that fact sheet and you can't quite find it, the one that I mentioned about resident and family councils, the regulations allowing them to exist both federally and at least in New York State, we can send that to you as well. And don't feel free, just reach out to us. We're here to help you. If you are stuck with your family council, or if you really do need help finding other people, we're here for you, and there's no time limit. We can help you attend your family council Zooms, and anything else you need, bylaws, the writing of your bylaws, an agenda for your family council meetings. Count on us because we are here for you. We know firsthand the strength and the power of family councils. And we want you to feel that empowerment as well. That's why we're called the Family Council Empowerment Team. So thank you. Jessica, I want to thank you for bringing the energy and the acumen and the knowledge to our group today. Thank you for joining us. And I'm looking forward to working with you in the future for the Illinois families. And thank you for knowing about our resources and about the LTCCC and using them. That is a great plus. Thank you for that, because we're always trying to get the word out about what we have to offer to families throughout the country.
You know, Janine, we have a resident and family support council that meets on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month. It's done over Zoom. We put them all on our YouTube page. So I'm thinking maybe you should come and talk, or have you already? I don't remember. We've been doing
Is
it.
that with Lee? Is that with Lee Moriarty?
Yeah. Did you do that
Oh
one?
my God, I love her.
Yeah.
I love Lee. Lee
Shout out
is
to Lee. She's
amazing.
great.
She
But
is fabulous.
that's another place where we're sharing resources and sharing your resources outward too. So thanks
She's
for
great.
the opportunity to be here today.
You bet. No, thank you. We sincerely appreciate you, and anyone who is on right now. If you would like more information about Lee Moriarty, the person that we're gushing over, I'm happy to introduce you to her. She is an ombudsman in Illinois, and she presents, I think it's twice monthly, as Jessica had mentioned. It's at 4 o'clock our time in New York. But she has a Zoom. Anyone can go on. It doesn't matter what state you're in. I've learned a lot about technology and what's available for people, for residents in long-term care residences through Lee's program. And I've learned a lot of tips, especially about advocating. So she is a resource. And thanks for mentioning her, Jessica, because I'm just crazy about her. Thank you for that. And with that, if no one else has any questions or any comments, we are good to go. Thanks for joining us for this hour. Thanks for bringing your energy and for your advocacy. Thank you, especially for your advocacy. Residents in long-term care residences everywhere need you, and we're grateful to you for that.